So if you're like me, and you go through the grocery store and you're trying to find a delicious meal to make for your family, and you don't know what to make because prices are through the roof, right? I mean, I was looking at pinto beans. They were like $1.25 per can, and I was like, and then I stumbled on this beauty right here. Like dried pinto beans, and this whole thing was $1. I was like, all right. So one of these bags can make up to 4 cans of pinto beans. That's $1 for one bag, which means it's 25 cents a can. When's the last time you were able to buy pinto beans for 25 cents a can? Well, we're gonna do our best. And then, after this episode, we're gonna see if we can make a chili-ish concoction out of these pinto beans. So the first thing you wanna do, all the Betty Crockers out of the world that I've seen, they go through here and they pick the bad beans out. So we're gonna put the whole thing in, and this is just like a little colander thing. But I guess we're just looking for some bad beans. I don't know how you really identify a bad bean, but we're gonna do our best. So we're just gonna go through them, and we're gonna give them a rinse because we just kind of want to get anything off of them. So that's what you want to do. Give them a rinse. I've done dried beans before. I'm not an expert at dried beans, but it's kind of basic in my opinion. I think you want to cook them. So I found a couple recipes, and I found one that I like, so we're going to try it. The main thing is we just want to rinse these beans off. So now that we did that, moving on to the next step.
Just like my suspenders hold these here, britches up, my Bubba skillet holds the kitchen together.
The next step is we're going to put all our beans in here. Get those babies in there. And look at that beautiful Dutch oven. If you don't have a Dutch oven, I mean, you could use a pot. I mean, I'm a fan of that cast iron. We love that cast iron around here. However, don't feel like you can't do this without it. But basically, this recipe calls for, well, on the package it says 6 to 8 cups. But essentially, you want to keep it above the water line. We're going to start with 6 cups of water. We're going to keep an eye on this. So you definitely want to start your stove. Oh, wrong burner, guys. Sorry about that. And we want to put that heat low because cast iron heats up a little different. So I want that to be low, but I want to bring this to a boil. Give the beans some flavor. Let's put a little pinch of salt. And you guys know how I love Tony's. So we're going to put a little Tony's in here. Just a little bit. We want these beans to just wake up, perk up a little bit, because they've been in that. Those beans have been in that poor bag for who only knows, right? So we're going to wake her up. I'm going to bring that to a boil, and then I'll see you in a bit and let you know what we're doing next.
When I like to show off around my neighbors, I let my Bubba skillet do all the talking.
And while you were away, I happened to find my thing of bay leaves. So we're going to drop that baby in there. Actually, we're going to do 2. Because bay leaves is, just to make it clear, while we're waiting on this to get to a boil, the idea of this is the beans are going to take the longest to cook. Because everybody that I've talked to or I've seen that have done a bean recipe or just did dry beans, you're looking on average about 1 hour to 2 hours to cook the beans. And most people say around 2 hours. So basically all we're doing is getting it to a boil, and then we're going to let it simmer for about 2 hours. So I'll come in and I'll check on it probably in intervals of 30 minutes. So that way make sure the beans aren't sticking to the bottom or anything like that.
Don't let my bow tie fool you. It certainly is my Bubba skillet that ties the kitchen together.
But one thing we did forget to do is stir all this up and get all this kind of pre-mixed. And there's Harry saying, "Hello guys, let's give her a stir." So we're gonna give her a stir while we're waiting on it to get to a boil, like so. And then I'll see you when it's boiling. And the tale goes as such. Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the more better you feel. So you eat beans at every meal. Got her to a little rolling boil here. Take a listen. Doesn't that sound nice? So anyway, so basically now that we have it at a rolling boil, I added another 2 cups. So now we have a total of 8 cups of water in here. And everybody that I've seen, or everybody that I've seen cook these kind of beans, they say you want the water line to be about an inch above the beans. So we might have to do that, but for now I'm gonna go ahead and let these babies simmer, and I'm gonna crank the heat down, and I'm gonna let these simmer for about 30 minutes to an hour and just kind of see where we're at. And I'm gonna keep an eye on the water level, and then as we need to add water, we can. But all right, so hang tight for the next part.
You know, there is one thing AI can never duplicate. This here, Bubba skillet. Haha, you should get one.
Wish you could smell this. Smells delicious. You can go down in the description and you can download my new Smelly App today and today alone. Smelly App, huh? Yeah, all you gotta do is take a click, take a sniff. Good thing it's not the Tootie app. That's just a joke, guys. It's not really an app. It's been about an hour. Let's check out those beans just simmering away. Oh, look at there. Like I said, it's been 1 hour, and in between commercial breaks, I did have to add some more water. And so the test that I was told is that you press on the beans, and when they're mushy, like that one's mushy, but this one isn't, so we know they're not done. And so again, I don't really do dry beans a whole lot. I've done dried beans, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times in my lifetime. And every time, you know, I learn, and that's the thing about cooking, right? You do one thing today, you learn tomorrow, and then you get better and better. Hey guys, let's go from here. So it's been about an hour. You can see these beans have been simmering down now. Simmer down now. Anyway, I'm gonna let those cook for a little bit longer, just giving them a stir, but you can already see how they are thickening up. And it's crazy to believe that that little small package is now developed into this. And the great thing about beans is that you don't have to be in a hurry. And this is the star of the show. So if it's the star of the show, we can wait on it. And meanwhile, behind the scenes, I cut up everything and I have it ready. So essentially, when the beans are ready, all I gotta do is fire up the skillet and get the ground beef and all the potatoes and onions and everything else that we're gonna add to this, and toss it in. So it's really an easy recipe. I mean, it takes a long time, but you're not like on it all the time. It's kind of like a crock pot without a crock pot. And I guess you could do it in a crock pot. What's the fun in that? This is why you gotta keep your eyes on the beans. For me, today is Sunday, and I've been watching football, and I forgot to set a timer. And not only did I not set a timer, I forgot to put the heat all the way on low, and I accidentally kicked it up apparently. And so now it's not all off, but got some of the crusties on the bottom, which we're fine, crisis averted. But either way, you got to keep your eyes on the beans.